Take a look at the ORLY FC2 dash cam. It's front and rear. The front camera goes up to 1440 quad high definition, 30 frames per second. The back camera is 1080, 30 frames per second. Does not come with a SD card, so I'm going to be using the Samsung model. And amazingly, this was $29 on Amazon. So we're going to take a look at it. There's the inside, both cameras. Packaged very nicely, has an instruction book. And here's our front camera. Has a little tiny view screen on this side. The instructions say to put it behind your rearview mirror, but a lot of the mirrors have that plastic computer panel behind them now, like mine does, so we'll see about that. This is the rear camera, and here's a cable to connect the rear camera. This is a mini USB cable. Here's the suction cup mount. Of course, we have to take all this protective plastic off. And just a charging adapter. And here's another mount. I think this is for the rear camera. And the cable to connect it to the power adapter. Okay, I have the front camera with the slot facing up. See this piece here? I'm just going to put it like this. And I'm just going to put it in and slide it down till you hear it snap. There. And that's all there is to it. And you can push this and remove it if you need to. You see there's a swivel joint. After you get it to the angle you want, you just tighten it. Tighten is counterclockwise. For the rear view camera, find this piece here and take a look at it. I'm going to slide it into the slot. So put it, and now push it over. Since I'm not certain where I want this, I'm just going to use blue painter's tape for now, which is easily removable. And I'm going to plug in the end of the cable that has the right angled jack into my rear view camera. And there it's connected. Let me get it in there. There we go. The cable to connect the camera to your power is super long. I'm not going to need all this. And you don't need this piece if you have an available USB port in your car. I do have one, but I use it for my Android Auto. So I'm going to go ahead and connect it to this adapter. So I'm going to plug this in here. So with the little LCD screen facing you, take your little card, the little metal edges facing you, notch up, and insert it. And that's all there is to it. Now I'm going to connect my power cable. Power cable just connects to the bottom connector. Went ahead and disconnected it while we get started. So it's asking me for English, so I'm going to press the little circle to confirm or enter. Now I have to put in the date. This is 2019, so I'm going to use the up arrow. So 18, 19. To confirm or to go on to the next field, you press the circle. So I'm going to hit continue. That's how I like it. Please format. So I press the down arrow again. I'm in setup. Now I'm going to see if I can get down to format. Date stamp. Frequency, GPS, sensor, format. Yeah. So now I'm going to hit OK on format, the circle. All data will be erased. And you see it's by default cancel. So I'm going to go up and hit OK. Circle. I mounted it a little bit to the right of the mirror, and we were miraculously able to run the cables all the way inside the trim, all the way along the top of the car, and then we removed the molding at the top of the hatchback and ran it through there and out the grommet into the connector. Now, for the power cable, we were able to run it along the window, down under the passenger floorboard, and basically just shoved it all along here. You can't even see it. We had a little plastic like case cracker for a phone repair that we've used to just push it up in there. So it looks really good. The only cable visible really is right here. When you turn your car, it wakes up and starts recording. And I can press the circle button to go from picture-in-picture mode to front camera, back camera, and then off. So to get to settings mode, press any key to wake up the display, press down arrow, and it will go into settings. And you simply arrow down or arrow up, press OK to go into that menu option, and down or up to select. So I'm going to leave my audio on. So I did turn the beep sound off. That's really the only thing I've changed so far. I may have changed the date stamp. I put the date. I want the date on the video. I left exposure alone. I don't have a GPS connected, but the G sensor, so if the car gets like shocked or hit, I have it on low. I don't want a lot of false positives. But you can experiment with all this. Switch the language. If you have problems with your device, I would say the first action I would take is format the card. If you start getting errors or if it starts not wanting to boot up properly. Motion detection. I have that on. Now, initially, after you format the card, you're going to want to go down to date and time, and you just go up and down to change the month. Okay to go over, up and down, same thing. And then this is the, I have it on military time, I guess. You can also change the date format. I'm going to leave it on standard. So back. So again, to get into settings, you simply press the down button. It will stop recording and go in there. Loop recording. I have it making a new file every 3 minutes. And basically, after the card's full, it should overwrite. That's how my old one worked. So I will take the card out and go show you the files, some of the files on my computer. So to get out, of course, you just arrow out. And look at those little helps. The button labels are right on top, so you really can't mess up. Out of my camera, and I have a little SD card adapter, so I'm just going to slide the tiny adapter in, and then I'm going to put this in my card reader slot in my laptop, and I'll be able to read it just like if I plug the USB key in. So after inserting your card into your card reader slot, you browse to see the SD card here. And then you open the FC2 folder, open the movie folder. I do see my AM and PM is wrong, and I've already fixed that on the camera. The camera seems to default to military time. So A is the front camera, and B is the back. I'm going to show you a little bit of each of these, and I think it's pretty good.